allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Meeting will please come to order. We do have proof of posting according to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code submitted on the state of Any members of the public who wish to speak shall each have 3 minutes. I don't believe we have any members of the public who are here, so we will go to item number 1, which is burn ban.
I make a motion to put the burn ban on. Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. We'll send it out to everybody. Item number 2 is to approve the minutes of the August 2nd special meetings.
I make a motion to approve the minutes August 2nd.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 3 is the order of general election. Now, the one that you have is the copy from 2020, which was our last general election. We had this on the agenda for last time, but we didn't have it yet. We still don't have the correct copy. Renee said she would have it by tomorrow. But I'd like to look at this because it has to be posted tomorrow.
Yes, I had to straight.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know right now.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's due tomorrow.
Well, she is, I think, at a conference today, so. All right, anyway, these are the ones that are going to be elected, or that are going to be, wait a minute.
We'll have to add a treasurer in there, won't we?
We surely will. We'll be sure and do that. Other than that, I don't know that there are any other changes as to the list of offices. And early voting will be for 2 weeks at the Green Barn and in Tiggs. Is that correct?
If we don't use City Hall, we're in more good. That's where we're going now.
Been doing it.
So we did it in Tracy. On the issue, get it before. We get back to church.
Last time I went over there, I thought it was last election, but it was at the police station across the
That's at
hall.
City Hall, early was. Yeah. And then the regular vote was at the church.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I think.
Okay.
early voting to be for 2 weeks in Fairfield and Teague. So, and we will have the correct addresses of these before we post them. But the main thing is that it is in there for 2 weeks. Or that it's open for the 2 weeks. And they have days that are required, that it's required to be open. There's one that has, I think it's that, Tuesday that's 7 to 7. But subject to us being, having the correct addresses and times that are required by the law, can we approve the order of general election and adding the treasurer?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 4 is Otis elevator contract. Now,
I called Teague,
yes,
and they said, well, we pay $200 and something a year. And then I said, well, what about maintenance? And Chad got back to us, well, we spent about $3,500 a year on this. So, hey, at the end of the day, they have one elevator that's a whole lot newer than ours, and they're spending that without they don't have a service contract like
yes.
us. And so, we got two, and they're a lot older, and I don't know how, it's in line with what they're spending. If they're spending $3,500 over there a year just on maintenance. I ain't found a better deal.
And ours are older, so
Yeah,
we
over
want to
and
go
plus
with what we
more,
have.
more forward, I think we'll have to.
Okay, is that a motion?
Ain't bad as I hate to, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of money.
But y'all didn't find anything.
Now, that was our best option, once you check into.
Yeah.
If it's, here.
Yeah.
And ours is old, so.
If you go without a maintenance contract, I think you're opening the door for no telling what. As old as they are.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Number 5 is the first amendment to amendment number 1. Agreement for Vanguard Records Management and image system for the county clerk's office. We have this in front of us. I think each person has one, and it talks about the records fee, the property alert fees. I haven't done that. I need to do that. I just keep forgetting. How many of y'all have done that property alert?
I did it one time, I think.
I think you just have to do it one time.
What's that?
The property alert, so that somebody comes and wants to change.
I think I got some on there.
Somebody tries to
That you're notified of it.
steal your car.
Somebody calls something.
tries to file
in
something
your
back
name,
now.
you put it nowhere.
Because that's basically all they can do.
Can you just go online to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a little flyer or something?
I do.
Would you bring that
I
next
will.
week and give it to everybody again? I know y'all probably already have yours done, but I have not had. See there, our tax man, no, you know, we need to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, you think that it might not happen to you because we all know each other, but those things slip by.
And at one time, we'd set something up in the tax office because they have a lot of traffic. I know in the move, I'm sure I'll bring you some more.
If we have any, they're still out. I had to
Okay.
check, but we did have
Yeah.
to sit in the lobby.
Okay. This contract is basically the same as the one that's already been approved, except for they left off the indexing fee, that last column, and that's why we were not being billed all year for our indexing. You know, we noticed
They were indexed.
that they're being indexed, they weren't billing us.
That's nice.
And, yeah, and we budgeted for it, and I didn't want to get caught next year, you know, Okay, now we owe all this money,
So
so,
now they're gonna go back and bill us for all
yeah,
that.
so that's what this contract is, basically, putting that in the contract.
Okay. Well, if it wasn't in the contract, maybe they shouldn't bill us for it.
Well, I agree, but on
How
the
the
second,
written world works.
yeah,
Right.
on the second page, that number 2,
Yes.
invoice for daily indexing, they're gonna send out the lump sum bill, basically, is what that says, to get us all caught up this year.
But you had the money budgeted for it.
Yes.
so, okay.
And that's what brought it to our attention. There's a lot of money that was not being spent out of that line item, but we budgeted like 60-something thousand. And that's about 13,000 of
Yeah.
that.
Any more discussion?
Make a motion that we accept the first amendment to amendment number 1 for Vanguard Record Fund.
Second.
All in favor? And then Sue, and then I can fill in the date or whatever, and I'll sign that in a minute. All right. Item number 6 is the Xerox service agreement. We do have that in front of you also.
Did we do that last time tonight?
We did. I just did the minutes and it did get approved last Wednesday. So we can,
No action. All right, number 7 is salary grades. All right, we have the sheriff's salary grades. Let me go get our. And they're, they may be colored, possibly colored sheets.
I have one right here, Judge.
You do?
Printed on,
Oh, okay, yeah.
July 24th.
In case we need to look at something.
Well, we know on the courthouse deal that we were gonna do away with the 25 too, right? Are we, I mean,
Yes, we're gonna talk about how we're gonna consolidate those. If you will, let's talk about the sheriff's office
Okay.
first.
I got one that's 82, if you hear one.
I've got mine here somewhere.
I got one of those that is not covered.
Well, let me just get mine, that way you'll have
I've got one that shows
yours.
12.
We got 82 right here.
You don't need to look at it?
You don't need to cover.
It reflects the $1,200 a year.
Yes.
We don't have one that reflects the 2,400.
We do, let me get it.
That'd make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we know exactly what we're talking about?
Yeah, let me get it.
I'm saying. We had a conversation, and you can't deny the conversation, because you just know what you said. It's much better. So, the file calls, lawsuit,
That's fine.
obviously let me know if you get personal service.
is good.
That's not cool.
That's just y'all's rules or whatever.
Yeah. Been like last time, I think, we're supposed to get on there.
The 20th, I think, is when they're supposed to come here. And we got an agenda and everything. It's just gonna be a regular-
Yeah, we made sure it's yesterday, it's on the agenda. I don't know if there'll be anything else on the agenda that day or not. Mainly put together just so we can.
That's on Tuesdays.
Yes.
20th, yeah, because we've got road report on.
We still have, we're supposed to meet with little guys tomorrow,
Then we got a phone call with them tomorrow.
phone call with them. Where's that, we have to, over here, or where we have to go?
Mm-hmm. I like that, I like that better.
I just got that message yesterday afternoon.
That was from Leonard.
It was a message from,
I got him, I sent him my stuff.
I did mine too.
I sent mine.
Karen said, did mine. Pretty free.
I just did 4 things.
Actually,
About 4.
One of them's not
But
that bad.
I asked about all the debris and stuff. I said, don't worry about that, let them.
okay, good.
I didn't think about trying to keep up.
I took some pictures.
That'd be a nightmare keeping up
I
with
took some pictures.
Thank you.
Like I said, we got trees blocked up lots of places. It's too hot to chainsaw them right now. I don't know.
14 different,
Huh?
14 different deals.
That's what I said, yeah.
That's what last time I seen it.
Me and Will went down one of my roads the other day that they said they were gonna just go down it and not tear it up. What about it,
That's
Will?
pretty,
It's bad.
that's pretty funny.
I mean, it is destroyed.
Pipeline on the Atmos field.
Is it the big line?
And all they were gonna do was go down to bore the road. But what they forgot to say was, that's a dead end road. And so they carried out everything that they bored the road with, they carried it down my road.
They didn't come in on the right way.
And
Now,
now
the railroad track couldn't.
they've had to bore under 80, under the railroad tracks and under my county road, and my county road is destroyed.
I got the guy's number,
I called him yesterday.
Daniel.
We don't have a road use, I mean, I don't have anything except I don't even know if we have road use agreements. We didn't get one for the crossings, did we?
Not on the board,
Huh? Not on the board?
not on the board.
But you got it for the line.
You gotta put a line, you can do that too.
Not for the line, yeah, we don't think we do.
Yeah, we do, for the line.
Have you seen them? They sent us a list of road, but I haven't seen a road use agreement, because the road use agreement's on the thing, it's not the current one.
Got changed.
They got a
yesterday.
current,
Huh?
they got a copy of the current.
But she was supposed to upload it, the new one to the county website yesterday evening.
Only the day you wanna get going.
I thought they signed one that was like right before the last change, that somebody must have signed.
I gave him a current one after he signed the other one.
It costs about $50,000 a mile if you do it with oil spill.
Told you 100.
Well, if you do it, but this is a narrow road, just thank goodness it's a narrow road. So we got a $200,000 bond on the whole project.
Save me 100 of it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, save me 100 of it.
Thank you. You know how to print it off on yours where it would be in color? Yes, ma'am. Would y'all rather have one? No, we can go with the black. Okay, so what we're looking at is the salary for the sheriff's, that's 570. If you look at that, 570. I hate to bother you to cut off your glasses,
Yes, ma'am.
either pair.
Which one did you
The
vote?
turquoise or the,
I mean, which one likes this one last?
okay, thank you.
Just didn't like them last time.
You didn't?
No, you didn't. You didn't like
Let
them.
me get my own. I think,
No, you can't.
I think those are mine, and those may be somebody else's. I didn't know you wore that color, but I'll just get some.
You can have
Yeah, mine.
These are years they came on my dresser this morning.
Maybe nine.
I said they are. One of these was, one was stouter than the other. These right here were stouter.
She wore them last time, she said that's too strong.
She bought these.
She didn't like them.
She didn't like these.
That's right. She's trying to get your turquoise.
Okay, here we go. Take it. Okay. Everybody has the 570. You have a payroll sheet.
Yeah, we got it over.
I think Karen is making some movements for us. If y'all haven't looked at these before, you think maybe you need to take a little more time to review them and us have them on the next agenda, next Wednesday? I mean, there's quite a bit of difference here. It's going to be,
We'll go ahead and get, does anybody want to speak on this right here?
Well, I think there's only two positions that haven't been, the salaries haven't been adjusted in a while, and that was the sheriff's admin and the records clerk.
Well, you need to talk about the records clerk because of that. Because Karen retiring.
Oh, right.
and have you hired anybody yet? You hadn't last time?
No.
Okay.
I did have an inquiry, asking about the money, and when I told them what it was, it wasn't good. I told them what we were looking at, or that it may change for October. I also have a jailer that might be interested, but they're, depending on the money, they're not gonna take that big of a pay cut to transfer to that position, so just kind of waiting to see what it's gonna be.
Well, we know the records clerk's going to be more than the 30 hiring. Right now, the one that we have is,
Karen should be around 44 probably. I would like to see at least a starting salary.
that's in 642.
642.
Records, I mean, jail, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 642. All right. And hers right now is will be 43,730. So, but she has been here a long time, and
Yes.
that.
That's why we haven't touched the starting
Yeah,
salary,
we
because
hadn't-
she's
we
been
hadn't
above it
planned to hire
anyway.
anybody. Do you have copies?
Yes.
Yeah, just bring them up and give them to everybody. Thank you.
This reflects the raise, the 2,400.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the most current.
jailers. They right now are getting 42.4. And on our higher end sheet, it shows 32.5.
Is there any need, y'all tell me if this is a stupid statement, for grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3, is there any need to have 3 grades? Because they just combine all those, I mean, is it that, I mean, we're not talking about much difference in money.
Where are we looking
Where we're coming from, I mean, to
Yeah, well,
simplify.
even up to grade 4, which,
Yeah.
that's just a one position deal, but.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the only reason I didn't include it, because
Yeah.
it was just, I knew it was just one person, but, I mean, is there any need to have it broke down? That's, I mean, it would, you know what I mean?
The only thing is that grade 3, those 2 positions rank higher than that's jailers oversight, so they can't really be the same,
I got you.
those 2 positions.
But we could do 1, 2, and 4. According to this, courthouse deputy hired in at higher than a regular. Well, he actually, no, he probably would go with the regular deputies. Is that right? Courthouse deputy?
If that's what you wanted.
Well, in the yellow, 7, deputy sergeant. That's deputy sergeant though, and the purple is jail sergeant.
Correct. Keep in mind, these are old grades.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think what they're looking at is if we can combine.
Yeah, instead of having it all, just,
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to have the difference because they have different functions there, you know, I mean,
I didn't know if it was that significant on the difference
I know-
in the job description.
well, you got supervisors who supervise and do the work, so they have the extra tasks. So I would think that needed to kind of stay the same outside of, now I do think the sheriff's admin and the records clerk, by the way my office works, they could probably be in the same salary grade, by the way my office works.
The records clerk in which one?
The sheriff's admin.
Now,
And if you wanted the courthouse deputy to make what the deputies make, then that could do away with that. So technically you'd get rid of two of the.
2 of the grades.
But if we left them like this, could we, in order to keep the progression there, could we add like, and I'm not saying an amount exactly, but add a certain amount, same amount to all of them, to raise all of them up so that they all stay in the same sequence, I guess you'd say?
I think the records clerk needs more. I would like to see the records clerk get up to 36. You're still gonna save $6,000 when this one retires, and we haven't touched it in years.
And just change that?
Well, and the sheriff's admin, because she's already at the 36, so nobody gets any extra raise, and
That ain't gonna foul up anything.
it's not gonna change anything.
That's not gonna foul up and have a new person making more money.
Right.
Move the records clerks to.
And nobody
That's the
gets-
kink in the whole deal.
And nobody gets another, more raise, it's still below what that records clerk is making, and it hasn't been adjusted, like I said, in years.
Okay, so the jail sergeant, the sheriff's administrator, and the records clerk would all be the same one? The purple and the light green?
I'm not sure what the new, I don't think I have all through there.
Well, says the admin on the sheriff is 38.5 now.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
admin.
the sergeant's position should make like 40.
45 too.
Huh?
45.
Yeah, so it's way above that. Because we corrected the jailers and the deputies off the SB 22, so.
Just as a thought though, if we look at adding 5,000 or whatever to the higher end for each position, that would keep it in order, or whatever amount that was agreed upon as to raise the higher ends for all of them.
What were you thinking the hiring would be for your new records position?
I was gonna ask for 36.
Okay.
The 36-1, which is exactly what the sheriff's admin would be making going forward also, so we'd still save the $7,000 off of our records clerk leaving. And then the admin's already making that, so nobody gets any extra money off of the 24.
So what were you thinking higher end on a jailer?
Well, we have right now at 40.
But that's because of SB 22.
Yes. So I don't know if you
Well,
want
we
to.
don't have to do that anymore, because we're not paying it out of SB 22, that's
You're-
just out of general fund.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with SB 22.
Right, so I don't know if you want to add the 2,400 from this year to it, because that's what they're all making anyway or more. So,
For the jailers, the ones we have now are
42.4.
42.4.
Right.
But we did that because
That's part of the rate, you can't
we
do
thought
that.
it was the SB 22 money that we were gonna use, so we raised them all to that, but
To
now.
40.
Now the general fund is paying that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the question is are we going to leave them at 40 or move them to the 42.4?
Not the higher end. Would you
We're
think
not
of the
talking
40?
higher end.
Yeah, I would think that, like you said, the 40, because that 2,400 is a raise
Right.
for everybody that's already here.
Okay.
Yeah, so hiring in at 40,
Mhm.
I'm just talking now, it'll be what everybody decides, but I'm just talking about, that's why it's now at 42.4.
In my head, I already had that, so, I mean, we've already got the 40, we've already got the 50
Yeah.
for the deputy, so.
So we're gonna raise the jailers from 32.5, the hiring amount to 40.
Do the records clerk and the jail sergeant, sheriff, add me into 36.
Jail sergeant's, I think, at 42.
Okay, so the sheriff's admin
The sheriff's admin and
would
the
go to the green.
sheriff's admin and the records clerk would be at the 36.
So move the sheriff's admin to the green and change it to 36.
Green.
This light green here. Oh, that's a different color than what you
That's
have.
what I mean, I got those.
Okay, move this one right here at 36.
Okay.
The jailer's at 40. Now then
Okay, got you.
the jail sergeant would make a little bit more than the 40, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's on here at
45 too.
45 too.
to the
But
sheriff's
that's-
admin?
But that's
No, jail
after,
sergeant.
but that's after the 2,400, correct?
Right.
Yeah,
So take 2,400 away from that.
we're hiring him, right?
That would be the hiring.
Hiring.
42.
42.8,
And that's on which one?
the jail sergeant.
Jail sergeant.
42,8?
And what we say on the administrator?
36
36.
36.
Move it up under
with
the
the records clerk.
grade 1.
Now, the courthouse deputy, why would it be different amount than the regular deputies? Just because they don't travel or
There's a
something?
lot of different job functions, man.
Okay, just
But,
asking.
I mean, it's beneficial to me if I ever have to replace Larry, you know, so. I know a lot of places use their courthouse deputies as like the first step in becoming a deputy. Like Navarre County, they usually put you in they can put you in the courthouse, and then from there, when a position on the street opens, they can transfer you to the street. So it's kind of like a step.
But it's also some
But
people get tired of patrolling and getting
And then
ready to
they come
retire,
into-
and they want to finish out in the courthouse.
yes, that is very true.
But I'm sure they got several officers in their courthouse.
Oh, they got many, yeah.
Could we move him either to the jailer slot, which is 40, or to the jail? You said it shouldn't be more than the jail sergeant. Is that what you're saying too?
Well, no, a deputy's different than a jailer.
I'm just thinking about slots though.
Would a jail sergeant hiring pay be equivalent to a courthouse deputy hiring pay?
Or a jailer.
Ah.
Hey, 40,000?
The jailer would be 40,000. I mean, if
We're
those
trying
are,
to eliminate one of these slots.
if those are the two that we're looking at, I would prefer to have them at 42.8 with the jail sergeant.
We got him at 52.4.
That's what we raised him to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
man.
looking
But
at
we're
hiring.
talking about hiring him.
Hiring him.
Yeah.
So
So
when he
put
leaves,
him-
yeah,
Put him in the,
With the 42.8.
with the 42.8.
Where's he at?
And
Just
that's
add
the
him to
one.
that grade.
Add him to that grade.
You do away with that grade 4.
Yeah.
so now we've done away with grade
Grade
3
4.
or
We did away with grade 4.
grade 4, okay.
We moved
The
the
admin.
sheriff's admin
Mhm.
to
Up there
grade
with
1.
to the grade 1.
Courthouse.
Right.
to
And
grade
then we
3.
moved,
Courthouse deputy to sergeant, jail sergeant,
yes, okay.
and then the rest would stay the same.
Let's keep this sheet. Okay.
Well, right now, our grade 1 will go to 36, grade 2s will go to 40, and grade 3s will go to 42.8. Is that right?
Yep.
I think so.
And then grade 5, it's just, it's left out as the lowest on my sheet here.
That's got to be changed.
Yeah.
And what she said at now?
35,360.
Yeah.
48.4.
So you take 2,400 from that.
Let's look at.
The admin should be set around
Well, so let's look at this. Let's look at grade 6 here, deputies. What are we gonna do at, well, that's a different thing. That's deputies, not jail. Okay. Sorry.
If you drop that jail admin to 46, put it at 46 higher end, what person is in line for that position right now? What are they currently making?
Well, the jail sergeant would typically be, you know, he would fill the role because they're already doing a lot of the admin, or assisting in some of the admin stuff already. But that's not, that doesn't mean we won't hire somebody else for it.
Right, I was just seeing what the jail sergeant right now is at 45.2 with the raise.
Yeah, but the starting pay would be 42.8.
42.8 is what we had for the sergeant.
So when you move,
The sergeant, so maybe 44. Maybe. What did you say? We went from 40 to 42 on the sergeant.
You gotta get it above,
42.8.
They put it at 46, you take 2,400 off 48 gold.
I think it should be at 46.
I was gonna say it needed to be a little bit above 42.8. That's our higher end on grade 3. We got, so this is our new grade 4.
So then that would put all of the jailers, the record clerk, and the sheriff's admin, that fixes that, so then you just run off the deputies. Basically the same way. I have 50, 52, 56, 59.
Let's wait a minute, let's settle, what are we gonna do on
Now,
that?
what do we do on,
Let's get this one set.
yeah,
Okay.
more than 42.8, no more than 46, somewhere. Six might be right, because if the jail sergeant now is currently at 45.2,
Yeah, that's where we run into an issue later.
But that's jail, yeah.
right, but that's what I'm saying, but if they went and took that admin position,
We wouldn't get anything out.
yeah, it would be lower than what they're making now. 46 would only be an $800.
But that's, I mean, yeah.
Now, depending on if it's a new hire or if it's somebody making a lot of, you know, in-house move.
Okay, if they move from one position within the jail to another, they don't have to go back in the hiring round, do they?
I think that's up to y'all.
We've talked about that, but generally it's been,
Generally, we have not done that because they already work for me anyway, so why would they? Yeah. Now going,
Now, if it's a new hire, then we'd be looking at this, but transfer within the office, we have not made the budget. I had that question in my office, because I didn't answer exactly, so it just stayed with.
44.5.
Yeah.
If it's a new hire. So that takes care of the jail side.
44.5 on it.
So let's go to the deputies now. You want to set the deputies first and then work
Work
backwards
up.
for them? Yes, okay. Okay. So on the deputies, that'll be in 570. Deputies all made, we changed them all to 50 recently, everyone to 50. Then they have the 2,400 raise. So on the deputies themselves, we had 40,000, but we now have raised everybody to 50, so we need to be at least around. And I think probably all the deputies everywhere are at 50. Because
oh
of
yeah,
SB
they're more than that.
22.
Oh yeah, with that SB 22, yes.
Even though we're not paying it out of SB 22.
Yeah. Yeah, that's essentially what the SB 22 did, was all the rural counties ended up
Yeah.
almost at the same pay.
Yes.
The difference is, well, the difference would be within $2,000 plus whatever extra incentives they get,
But the ones that have been here longer should make a little more than the ones.
if we can somehow figure that out on the salary grades.
Okay. Is everybody good with 50 for the deputies? What are we talking about?
That's what the new grade 5 would be.
Yeah.
That'll be our new grade 5, you and I.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I won't know what, everybody's starting salaries get bumped to until after budget for the other counties. I mean, this thing's subject to change anyway, we know how that is. It's just going forward for right now, what is it gonna be set at?
At this moment, what are we doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much got to with the, around the counties.
We're done.
We're done.
Y'all can have.
We're fixed to be done.
You can be have our.
Thank you. It may be a little while, but, okay. So we have that. We're talking about what our new grade 5 is, deputies. What is the higher end gonna be on deputies?
50,000.
50,000.
50,000.
Everybody's good with that. Okay, we go down then to
Our new shifts.
our
Deputies, be patrol sergeant,
Yeah.
CID sergeant. Martin and
Well,
Ryan.
here we get about $2,000 differences. So does that sound reasonable?
That's usually what I try to do, 2,000 to 2,400, in the worker and the first
Just go to
supervisor.
just go to 52,000.
What is it? Or our
Our
new
new
grade
grade
6?
six.
Okay. And then to the,
Do the same on the other two.
for now. And then we can always, like you said. 56.
And spread them out.
So we're going 50, 52, 54, 56.
us to approve this today? Do you want to think about it and see if we're off?
I mean, we're not off much. I think that, we're not off much. It's not like it's not gonna get changed anyway. I mean, people are set in their positions for the most part,
Okay.
so,
We'll do a new sheet. Can we approve this today so he can go ahead and, be trying to hire somebody in 36? And then if we have to come back and talk about it, we'll have a better starting spot.
yes.
Need a motion?
If you're ready to vote.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. All right, now, let's see, 10:30. All right, we have courthouse personnel. We have a few more things that we're gonna have to do, and then we're gonna have some interviews. So, do we want to go ahead with this today, or do we want to do this next week?
I got just one question over here
Okay.
on some of the different ones, like the thing where Mr. Black, Dane, McGowan,
Yes.
Leonard Smith,
That's county services.
and then,
I can answer one question. Mr. Black works for the 911 and he works in county services.
okay,
So in 911, we have that separated out because we get reimbursement for a hot tide for 911. And he keeps up with his time as 911 separately.
okay, and he gets paid accordingly to that.
Well, we have a set pay, but we have that, a set division of it. But he keeps his time to show that he spent at least that much time working in 911. We don't readjust it every paycheck.
So when it says it's 19.6,
Yes,
96.41 is not accurate.
it is accurate. Well, the division between county services and 911, we don't adjust that every time. We have, we get about 24,000, I believe, usually from, or 20,000, it changes every time, just what the allocation. And if you look on the page right before that, we budgeted 21,000 this year, so we must be getting just about 20 probably. But he does a time sheet to show that he can justify us getting that money from Hot Comm.
That's fine. Okay, so my next question is Leonard Smith,
Yes?
is there extra money coming in? Because he makes more, actually, and he's part-time, and he makes more than Mr. Black does. And the,
They do different services though.
but he's part-time.
Yes.
He's not a full-time employee.
Correct.
Mr. Black is a full-time employee, correct?
Not for county services. Part of his time is for county services, part of his time is for 911. And if you add those two together, he makes about 40, low 40s. Steve does.
And Mr.
42.
Mr. Smith, how much, what does he make?
He's just, well, no, he just gets paid according to what he turns in. He may not.
How much does he make an hour?
I think $15. I'm not sure, I'd have to go, do you know what?
18.
15, like any other part-time person.
15, but it could be 18. I'm not
When
sure.
we get our budget stuff in here in a few minutes, you can look and see how much of it he's used. I don't know right now.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, remind me, and we'll look at that whenever we come back here in a minute. All right, we had voted, or we had discussed that we wanted everybody to make at least $15 an hour. And that is what, 31.2.
know for up there at the senior services, we only rolled up to, what was it, 12 or 13?
1350.
But they're all part-time.
Part-time.
Part-time, yeah, part-time.
So that grade one on this courthouse project, that automatically, that's gonna go 31.2.
At least to
That-
31.
Yeah, the start hiring. Okay, so
And, you know, on this, everybody gets benefits, so we remember that whenever we're setting these. So at least 31.2.
So would grade two be the same? Do we combine them two?
Well, it's kind of the same thing that he had talked about. If you're a clerk one, you have more duties
Okay,
than you're more of a administrative type.
do we have 2,000 to it? I'm just trying to keep it, that's kind of what we did on the other.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a starting point, I mean,
that would make that 33.2. And then the next one would be 35.2. And then election administrator, 37.2. We probably could,
if we combined any of those,
we don't even have anybody in grade 6, so we probably could just do all three of those together, do you think?
4, 5, and 6,
Mhm.
I think that sounds perfect.
And then the grade 7 would be the new grade 4 at 39.2.
None of that's gonna foul up any present salaries,
Well, it's only a, I don't know,
you know where I'm coming from?
but most of these people, I think, have been, we'll just.
Nobody,
If somebody is above that, is not above the grade, the hiring grade, we will adjust them to that hiring grade.
okay,
How about that?
I just make sure it doesn't muddy the water, doesn't foul any existing employees,
And none of them will, yours are all above what we said.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll look at this. Now, do you think there's, is that good, or should we do a little more?
that's good.
What do y'all think?
On that grade 3, we really didn't give it a full $2,000 bump.
We just went 2 from grade 2, yeah.
Right, it would be.
I put 39.2.
It'd be 35.6 if you want to increase it 2,000, because the hiring was at 33.6.
Well, I was going off this. If we raise 2 for each thing, to keep
From
these.
each grade, from grade to grade.
But we could do that. We could make it a 6, we could rather have it a 6. You know, 2. We could make them all a 6. Then it'll all be even. 31.6, 33.6, 35.6, 37.6, 39.6.
We do that 31.6, then we're gonna have somebody that's,
We'll have to give a raise.
yeah, just leave it 31.2, 33.2, 35.2.
31.2.
Okay.
And then y'all can think about it, if you want to make some, if you, after you look at it and think about it a little while, I know we have.
That's helping everything, I mean, it's gotta help, I mean, you know, my whole deal is 25.2, we had to do something about that, nobody's gonna ever get a hiring by it.
We've been talking about that for a long time, we just never get it done. All right, do we have a motion to approve these?
I'll make that motion.
On favor, aye. Perfect, thank you.
It's gotta try to, that's gotta help some.
But really think about that, we made a All right. Now, it is 10:45.
What did that mean that first second?
I don't know, somebody picked it up by accident. Thank you so much.
Ten oh nine.
That in.
10:09.
10:09. Yeah, I see it now. Great. Let's take about a 5-minute break. I am going to get the new and improved budget.
Final.
But no,
Okay.
no, everybody will look at it and then